I'd like to take a minute or two and highlight a project that I've been working on for the last few months. Every summer, about the third week in June, my institution, Snead State Community College in Boaz, Alabama, has what we call Parson Days. And you can kind of see our logo here in the middle. Snead State started out as a Methodist institution, and so our motto is the Parsons, kind of as a throwback to that history. And so that's our athletic teams. We're called the Parsons, and we have something called Parson Days, and that's our freshman orientation. We have new students that come in for advising and things like that. And I wrote a program that would kind of help instructors in the career technical division put students where they needed to go. And I had a whole lot of issues out of it. Some of the instructors couldn't use it very well, and so I kind of went back to the drawing board and put this web page together, and I kind of want to highlight some of the things about it. First of all, I've got handy dandy links up here to things like the Snead course schedule, to Degree Works, which my institution uses in order to show students what classes they've completed, how much they have left on their degree, their degree progress, that kind of thing. There's an advising form that all of our advisors have to fill out to send to our new advising center. And then I've got the Alabama Transfers Guide. And in Alabama, all of our four-year institutions have an articulation agreement at the state level where any community college that follows the Alabama Transfers Guide, the courses are guaranteed to transfer for the student to the four-year institution. And so that's a handy guide. But these are just some links. I modeled this page after the Snead website, and if I can pull that up right quick, snead.edu, and we'll go there. And if I pull up, say, academics, you can kind of see that they have kind of a similar scheme, and the footer down here looks a little bit similar to what I've got. So anyway, I mirrored the site a whole lot, and I put this template in there to kind of mirror our website. But I put this together kind of in concert with ChatGPT, and so I spent a lot of time and energy going back and forth with ChatGPT, and you can kind of get an idea of how long this conversation is. If I scroll up, I keep scrolling, and you'll notice that my scroll bar over here is just barely moving, and that's because I've had numerous conversations with ChatGPT trying to get this right. For the most part, ChatGPT has been really good about creating the proper code that I need for JavaScript, CSS, and HTML for this project. But there have been a couple of times, maybe 3 or 4, where it got stuck. It couldn't do what I asked, and so for those portions I had to manually edit the code, and finally told ChatGPT what I did after I got it right, and then that kind of updated its database so it knows how this project needs to look and that kind of thing. But I'm really proud of this, and just to kind of show you the idea, let's say that we've got a student in here that comes for advising for welding. So we take them to our welding degree plan. We have to put in a username, or the student's name, and this would be the actual student's name, but I'm just going to make up one right now. And then the student's student ID. In Alabama, we have an alabama.edu domain for all of our community college systems now, and so every student gets what we call an A number. That's an alabama.edu number. And it looks something like this, about 9 or 10 characters, and so I've got that in there. And really and truly, the only thing that a welding degree needs to know is how the student would like to take their math class. If they'd like to do it online or in class. I'm just going to put online, and from here I can build the schedule. And it'll show them exactly what courses they'll need to take. It's got the course registration numbers or CRNs. It's got the times and dates and things like that. I also have links to the degree plan, and so if you get stuck in advising students what they need to do, all of our career technical programs have a master schedule that students follow semester by semester in order to finish all of their courses. And so this will update dynamically. Let's say that I wanted to go back and say in class, build schedule, and now that mathematical applications class has changed from a web-based class to Tuesday, Thursday at 1 o'clock. The CRN changes and that kind of thing. What's cool about this is I've got a print schedule here, and that will allow you to give a print copy to the student if you're in your office. If you're not connected to a printer, this won't really work or help, although you could come and save a PDF of it for later printing if you needed to do that. Also, this generates a saved schedule, and so you can kind of see here, it creates an Excel spreadsheet for your records that outlines the courses that were recommended to the student, and there's also a second tab here that gives the students information, their name, their A number, what the program was, and when we actually advised them, the date and time. So this is really handy for our instructors. I've used this a little bit myself over the past couple of weeks. Unfortunately, I didn't have this ready for Parson Days, but this is going to be good to go for Parson Days 2026. Another thing is that let's say that a student has been dual enrollment and has taken some of these courses already. Well, in that case, you can come up here and you can modify some of these. Just selecting the radio button will tell you a little bit about the course. It will give you the course description. But let's say that instead we wanted to do, say, a Gen Ed. Let's say that the student had already taken W110. Well, I can say, all right, we're not going to add that to the schedule by using the trash can over here. And then let's say that we're going to add ENG. Let's say the student placed into ENG 099 and English 101 instead. And this again will give a course description and that kind of thing. Building the schedule will add those courses back to the schedule. You can print, save the schedule. Because there are so many options, I don't give the CRNs for those. The ones that have CRNs, there's generally only one option available for those classes. So that just kind of gives you an idea of what all has gone into this project. I can go back to choose another degree plan. Clearing will reset everything back to the default for this particular degree plan. If I get done with a student, I've saved the schedule and I want to start over, I can start over. I get a confirm box of whether I want to start over for sure, and yes, I want to do that. My computer degree is a little bit more complicated. I have a career tech component, and I also have an academic component for those students who wants to transfer to a four-year institution. And so my path is a little bit more complicated, and for that reason I've got a couple of extra pages. You know, do they want to come to Snead for 2 years and then enter the workforce, or do they want to transfer? All right, let's do the 2-year degree first, and you'll notice that I have one more question. Again, you know, let's do John Doe and we'll do that, and they get to select whether they want a cybersecurity program or IT administration. This is the focus for that degree, and again, how they would like that math. If I do cybersecurity and then build the schedule, then you can kind of see the course schedule that they would be taking. They would take my CIS 117 database management class, and then they would take 280, 116, 161, and 146. Again, same options available and that kind of thing. Let's start over, and I'll go back. And let's say that they're a 4-year institution. This gets a little bit more complicated. They have the choice of where in Alabama they would like to go, where they would plan to transfer. And most of our students transfer to JSU or UAH. So let's go to UAH and go to next. And what's cool about this is that it lays things out in terms of their areas. Area 1 is written composition. Area 2 is fine arts, humanities. Area 3 is natural sciences, mathematics. Area 4 is history, social and behavioral sciences. And then Area 5 is pre-professional major and electives courses. And I've got it to where, depending on what the student wants to take, there are course notes. You can kind of see here if they are in a developmental English and reading class, then they really are recommended to take that class as a Mini 1, followed by English 101 and a Mini 2. Some other notes here. I have some that are school specific, and so if they're going to UAH, they get a note that UAH requires some kind of a public speaking class. And again, with the radio buttons, selecting that, it will give you a course description for that course. If the students completed 101 and 102, then they get to English literature. And so instead of selecting this course, you'd select an English literature course instead. Fine arts, we'll do music appreciation. Mathematics, let's say that they place into Math 100. History, they're going to be doing, say, Western Civilization 1. That's a recommended course here in Alabama. And let's say that we're going to go ahead and give them that speech course that they need. They're going to take SPH 106. If I do a build schedule, of course I have to put in students' information. And so now if I do build schedule, then you can kind of see that it lays that out there. And it recommends taking Math 100 in a Mini 1, Math 112 in a Mini 2. That's so they can take Math 113 in spring, and then they'll need that for taking calculus in the fall. So this is a project that I'm really fond of. I'm really glad that I was able to put this together. Like I said, I worked with ChatGPT, and ChatGPT for the most part did a really good job in helping me code this. But I hope to expand this a little bit, and rather than just relying on this during our freshman orientation week, I want to get this ultimately to where I have the full degree plan in front of me that looks kind of like this, and that I can use this for advising in my office for regular students who are going to come back semester after semester. So just wanted to showcase that project, and that's all I've got.